Welcome to Archiversity online classes. In this lecture, I am going to explain you how to calculate, analyze and interpret debt ratio with two real companies' balance sheets. One is a power generation company in India and the second one is HPCL, which is an oil and gas company in India. Debt ratio measures the relationship between total debt and total assets. So total debt includes non-current liabilities and current liabilities. So this includes both current and non-current liabilities. Similarly, total assets includes both non-current assets and current assets. So the idea of a debt ratio, which is also called as a total debt to total assets ratio, the debt ratio can be better understood from the perspective of accounting equation. So our accounting equation, this is assets equals to liabilities plus equity. So this clearly indicates that assets are the resources that the organization own. So and these resources are mobilized through liabilities, which are the borrowings, and the owners of liabilities have a claims on the assets, and remaining part of the assets are mobilized in the form of equity. So this is owner's equity, and owners have a rights on properties. So the debt ratio measures this part of a relationship, that is what proportion or part of resources, that is economic resources of a company, has been funded by or has been funded through liabilities. So if liabilities are high, mean to say that your company can be said that levered and which has got a financial risk. The impact will be on a financial risk because the liabilities in the form of a borrowings, you have to make a payment in the form of interest, which is shown as an expenditure in a profit and loss account. So if you have a more borrowings, then your financial cost will be high, which will impact your bottom line. On the other side, as the cost of a debt, that is borrowings, are cheaper than cost of equity, so in this case the company will have an advantage of funding its assets in the form of a liabilities. Now I'll explain you how to calculate, analyze and interpret debt ratio with an example of two companies. One is Adani Power Limited, which is a power manufacturer in India, and the second one is HPCL, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, which is oil and gas company in India. So here is the balance sheet of Adani Power Limited. All the amounts are in rupees crores, and this gives you a financial results for 2 years, that is financial year ending 31st March 2019 and another one is financial year ending 31st March 2020. We will calculate the debt ratio for both the years, that is for financial year 2019 and 20, and see how actually the debt ratio of this company is and what factors influenced the debt ratio. So here what we are saying is the debt ratio. So this equals to total debt and total assets. So we'll calculate for 2 years, that is 2019 and 2020. So here total debt, total current liabilities as well as the non-current liabilities. From the balance sheet, here you can see that the non-current liabilities are 8,428.15 crore and the current liabilities are 3,372 crore in year 2019, and same here in the 2020 this is 3,320 and 3,419 crore. So our total debt, that is a debt ratio, your numerator values will be 8,428.15, this plus 3,372.06. This is for the financial year 2019, and for 2020 3,320.82 plus 3,419.09. Then this upon your total assets. So total assets values are here. So for 2019 total assets are 28,928.04, whereas for 2020 this is 22,530.29. So using a calculator we'll calculate the debt ratio. So 8428.15 plus 3372.06 upon your total assets 28928.04. So the debt ratio is 0.41. Let us say here the debt ratio is 0.41. 3320.82 plus 3419.09 upon 22530.29. So 29.9, or we can say 30%, or 0.3, so 0.30. So in the 2019 the debt component is 40%, whereas in 2020 the debt component is 30%. That means of the total resources, that is the total assets, 30% of the assets in 2020 has been funded in the form of a debt, whereas in 2019 40% of the assets are funded in the form of a debt. Now 40% debt, or 0.4 and 0.3, you can see that there is a decrease, and this decrease is near about, just calculate this. So current value is 0.3 minus 0.4 is the previous value upon 0.4 into 100. So 25%. There is a 25% decrease in a debt ratio of this company. So this debt ratio, 25% decrease in a debt ratio, increases that the company was able to repay its debt. Now, is that actually the reason? We'll look into more detail into its assets and liabilities. So if you observe the assets of the company, during the property and plant, there is no much change, and all these items, even in case of investments, also no change. But if you look at the loans here, so the loans, the note 6 says that there is a decrease in of near about 6,000 crore rupees. That means the company has received. So these loans are in the form of assets, which means the company lent it loans. So looking at the annual report of the company, it is visible that these loans are given to the related companies. And as there is a decrease in the loans value, this is loans has been received, in the sense the amount has been received from the related companies, because of which there was a decrease in a loans. So this is one factor, and because of which your total assets has been decreased. As the total assets decreased, automatically your debt ratio will get affected. Similarly, when it comes to the liabilities part, if you observe here, the borrowings of financial non-current liabilities or borrowings, this again there is a decrease. So this decrease means the company has paid loans. So these paid loans, again these loans when observed from the notes of the balance sheet, it is to the related companies. Then because of which your total non-current liabilities, there is a huge decrease in the total non-current liabilities, and current liabilities has not affected much. So to know more detail about this, we look at the related notes here. So non-current loans, which the company, here it is says that loans to related parties, there is a decrease in the loans related to related parties from 8,100 crore to 3,173 crore. Similarly, other non-financial assets, 1,200 crore was there in a previous year. Now this year only 100 crore. Especially if you look at, so advances recoverable in a cash in the form of 775 crore, which has been received, and interest receivable amount is 0 here. That means the interest also received. These two items you received during a 2020. Now trade receivables, there is an increase in a trade receivables, so 366 crore. These trade receivables, because Adani Power is a DISCOM company, it distributes power to the DISCOMs in the country and for the states. So these dues are from the state governments. Now looking at the non-current borrowings. Now here if you look at bank loans, there is a decrease in a bank loans from 179 to 136. That means the company has repaid some of its bank loans. And on the other side, if you observe, unsecured borrowings at amortized cost. So this is 8,374 in a previous year, but coming to this year, this was 3,112. Now, especially these loans, there is a huge decrease in loans. That means the company has paid loans to the related parties. And financial liabilities also, there is increase in financial liabilities to the tune of 205 crore. This is a financial guarantee obligation limit. Now, from this balance sheet of Adani Power, one thing that I am not able to understand is, when the company that itself is in a requirement of a loans, why is that it is giving a loans to related companies? So here it has given near about 9,000 crores to the related companies, and borrowed around 8,000 crores from the related companies. Now, why is this? In the sense, to know more about this, you also need to look at the profit and loss account to know the financial costs. In the sense, here this 9,767 crores which is given to the related companies, this will give you other income, whereas the loans that you have to pay here, this gives you a finance cost. Now, what is the total finance cost and total other incomes? I observed the annual report. It says that of that total income, 50% of income is through other income only. That means just the company, by giving a loans to the related companies, it is showing an income of around 900 crore rupees. So, but this is really something which is a strange one. So, why there is so much of a fund transfer from one group company to the related companies, again from related companies to the group company, and which is actually having impact on the financial burden of the Adani Power Limited. So, a more in-depth analysis need to be done. For that purpose, you have to look at the profit and loss account and how much of the other income is received, how much of the finance cost the company paid, whether the company is profitable or not. So, the debt ratio, even this shows as a very low ratio, or we can say that a minimum debt ratio. But this is this debt ratio will have impact on a profitability due to its financing cost. This is one related to the Adani Power Limited. And the second company that I preferred is Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. This is a public sector company in the country, which is also called as one of the Navaratnas and a very reputed company in India. So, if you look at the total assets of this company, it is sitting on a total assets of 1,03,000 crores and in 2019 and 1,14,000 crores in 2020. So, this is a very you can say that by looking at the kind of assets a company has got, we can say that how huge or how bigger the company is. Now, we calculate the debt ratio for this. One is the total, you have a total assets here, and coming to the total liabilities, non-current liabilities are 18,661 crore in 2019 and 28,000 crore in 2020. And coming to the total current liabilities, this is a 57,000 crore here and 57,000 crore here. So, there is no much change in the current liabilities, but there is a huge change in the non-current liabilities, near about 10,000 crore rupees. So, we'll calculate the debt ratio here. So, our debt ratio for 2019 and 2020. So, 2019, the total liabilities or total debt is 18,661.46 plus current liabilities 57,002.68. Then on the other side for 2020, this is 28,041.08 plus 57,007.39. This upon your total liabilities, total assets. This is 1,03,838.96 crore, and this is 1,14,010.83 crore. So, our debt ratio will be 18,661.46 crore plus 57,002.68 crore upon 1,03,838.96 crore. So, this is 70.72, or we can say that 0.73. So, the debt ratio is 0.73 in the year 2019, and for 2020 20, this is 28,041.08 plus 57,007.39, this upon 1,14,000 crore, 0.746, or we can say that 0.75, 0.75. So you observe here, for the Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, this is an oil and gas company, the debt ratio is very high. That means 75% of the assets of this company has been funded through debt component in the year 2019, and 75% of the assets has been funded through debt in 2020. And also we can see that there is an increase in a debt ratio. That means during this financial year 2020, the company has borrowed more funds. Now here this shows that a highly leveraged one, and this indicates that the company has got a high financial risk, in the sense, as long as the revenues of the company are good, and when economy is in what you mean to say is a growth, then it will not create any problem for this company. But if there is any recession in the economy, and if there is a decrease in the sales of the company, then this high debt is going to impact the company adversely, because the interest component, which is a fixed obligation, may have a adverse impact on the financial performance of the company. Now during the financial year 2019, you can see that there is an increase in different kind of bonds. One is the 8% debenture, 7% debenture, 6.8, 6.38, 7.2. All these are the borrowings which has been made during the financial year 2020, because in 2019 there are no such borrowings. Similarly, the company also borrowed money from Oil Industry Development Board. Earlier it was a 600 crore. Now it is a 2,900 crore, near about 2,300 crore debt is borrowed here. And syndicated loans from foreign banks, also there is a increase, near about we can say 800 crore here, rupees 800 CR here, 2,300 crore here. And lease liabilities also, there is increase in lease liabilities. So total increase, if you look at, there is nearly about 11,000 crore in the previous year. Now this is 22,000. So near about rupees 11,000 crore is borrowed during the financial year 2020. Similarly, borrowings in the short term, you can see there is an increase in a cash credit, near about 250 crore here. Then there is a short-term loans. There is increase in a short-term loans also from 3,000 crore to 6,000 crore, near about 2,800 crore borrowings here. So here also you can see that means the company borrowed both long-term borrowings as well as the short-term borrowings. Long-term borrowings in the form of a debt. But one important aspect that you need to observe here is the cost of a debt is the higher is 8% and minimum is a 6.3%. So this we can say that the cost of a debt. Now, as long as this cost of a debt is less than the cost of equity, if a company is making a profit anything more than this, then it is acceptable. But if a return on investment or the cost of equity of this company is low, then the financial performance of a company will be adversely affected in a short run if there is any change in economic conditions, or if there is any change in sales of this company. So other financial liabilities also, we see that there is an increase in other financial liabilities. Because of these reasons, we can say that the debt ratio of Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited has increased from 0.3% to 0.75%. In any means, this debt ratio is very high, and in a long run, if there is any impact on the company's sales or its revenue, or there is any change in economic conditions, the company will be facing or will face adverse effects. But as long as if the company is able to generate sufficient revenue, then this leverage will have advantage to the company. So to know more about this, you need to look at the profit and loss account and see that it's their profit ratios, profit margins, and also the contribution of finance cost. You can do that with the help of a common size common size statement. By calculating a common size statement, you'll know what is the impact of financial cost. If the financial cost impact is very high, then this is a negative sign. Now, as we calculated a debt ratio for both the companies, we may be knowing that who are interested in this debt ratio. One is that if you are lending any money to the company as a bank or a creditor or a supplier, then this debt ratio will be of very useful for you. Similarly, if you are making an investment into a companies, then also you have to pay attention towards the debt, because high debt, which leads to the high financing cost, which will be acceptable in case of a growing economy, but it is not acceptable if the economy is in recession or when there is a decrease in the sales of a company. When looking at the Adani Power, I suggest that you need to do an in-depth analysis on this, why there is a continuous flow of borrowings from one company to other company, again from related companies to the Adani Power Limited, and what is its financing cost and what is the other revenue it received on its loans. These need to be observed in case of Adani Power Limited. So as an investor, you have to look at these factors while making an investment decision. So the debt ratio will give you this information, but in isolation, you will not be able to make a decision or conclude just because of a debt ratio. You have to calculate other solvency ratios also. In addition to that, you need to do some analysis on a profitability ratios. So holistically, you can make a decision whether to invest in a company or not, or whether to lend loans to these companies or not. Thank you. Thanks for watching the lecture.